Hey, it's your boy J. Michael with another V-I-D-E-O. Right now, first hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, that dislike, that like, however you feel, just keep it real. You smell what do? Okay. Right now, it's a lot of people, males, females, young, old, middle age. It's going through emotional problems right now. They confused, they hurt, they stress, they depressed. They don't understand if they coming or going. But they still keep that mask on to try to stay strong and try to keep that fakeness on in front of friends and family. But deep inside, they hurting. And they crying for help. But ain't nobody seeing it. Ain't nobody hearing it. So they gotta keep this fakeness on. And then when the people do see it, and when the people do hear it, they disregard it, or they say quit acting, or they quit saying seeking for, they say stop seeking attention. This is what these people is saying to y'all, the ones that's out there really crying for help. But right now, y'all ain't gotta cry no more. Y'all ain't gotta seek it no more. Cause J. Michael is right here to tell you now, I'm here to listen. J. Michael not perfect. The world know J. Michael not perfect. The world know J. Michael got emotional problems. But J. Michael recognize it. J. Michael understand it. This is what I'm telling y'all. Why you think I named myself the Realionaire? Because you have to be real with yourself to understand yourself. You can be yourself all day. You can say to yourself, this is me. How you gonna tell me I don't know who I am? It's a lot of people out here walking, but don't understand who they are. A lot of people, they put that front on all day. But they don't know who they are as an individual. They don't know who they are as a woman. They don't know who they are as a man. You can front all day until you understand who you are and understand that person in that mirror. You not gonna understand the world because you can't understand yourself. So how you gonna understand the world? See, you have to go back to where it started to understand the journey. You have to go back to understand your faults. You have to go back to understand your emotions. You have to go back to understand why you sick. You have to go back to understand why you do the things you do to these people out here. Children, women, however, we finna get deep. See, my mother was a dope fiend. My father was a dope fiend. My families was alcoholics. I had other family members was dope fiends. But I love them no less. Was I hurt? Yeah. Was I sad? Yeah. Was I confused? Hell yeah. But as I got older and I started mingling in these streets and started moving in these streets, I understood. And I had to ask myself, J. Michael, why you was mad at your mom? Why you was mad at your dad? Why you was looking at your family crazy because they was alcoholics and your mama and your father was on drugs? Why was you looking at them like that? Why did you have animosity? Why did you have malice towards your mom, towards your dad, and towards your family? Because they was on drugs, because they was using alcohol. But you don't understand, J. Michael, why did they use drugs? Why did they get on alcohol? Why was they drinking the way they was drinking? You don't know the walk they had to walk to do what they had to do what they doing now. All you know is what you see. All you see is what you understand. They is drinking, they is using drugs, but you don't know their journey. You have to understand that person's journey to understand why they do what they do. Study getting mad. Understand it. Go back to their life and understand their journey. You see what I'm saying? My mother loved the hell out of her family. My mother would do anything for her family. But when you, the black sheep, and your family treat you like you nothing, when your family call you, oh, you wasn't my child, you was the milkman's child, you was the paper boy's child. Then they go behind your back and dog you and talking about you to the other family members because they think they superior, they think they better than you. But you still be there for your family. I had to go through my mother's journey to understand my mama, why she got on drugs, because my mama was mentally and physically and mentally messed up in her head. Because she's trying to understand why can't she love so hard and how can she do everything for everybody, but everybody is turning their back on her and she's still there for them. I had to go through my mama's journey. I had to understand why my mother did drugs. Don't get me wrong. That's not an excuse. But everybody is not mentally strong. Somebody have to have that scapegoat. Somebody have to have that excuse to run. And some people run to drugs. That be the excuse to run. That be the excuse to have their pain because they can't face it. When you start learning how to face them demons, when you stop running and face them demons with that sword that God gave you and that shield that God gave you, and you can understand the fight that's in front of you. You have to understand that fight that's in front of you. You can't run. Because every time you run, it's going to come right back in front of your face. God going to put it right back. Because God is telling you, the more you run, the more I'm going to put it back right there in front of your face. So you might as well face it. This is what God's saying. Now, let's get to my dad. My dad was mentally sick. He wasn't physically sick. He was mentally. And we ain't gonna go into all that because my pops is, may he rest in peace. But my dad, he had a messed up family. And when I say messed up and confused, this family is messed up and confused. See, my daddy's side of the family, it's like Bloods, Crips, G's, CPTs. You know, they broke up in gangs. I just use them names. They not them gangs, but I just use that as an example as my family is broke up in gangs. You see what I'm saying? The rich, because I got millionaires in my family, the rich don't even talk to us at all. The ones that's up under them, they socialize with them because they feel they somewhat on their level. Now the ones that's somewhat on their level, they don't even acknowledge us. They don't even come to our side of the town. You get what I'm saying? This is how messed up my family is. People done died in our family. I'm going to give y'all a prime example. My daddy was dead for 2 years. And when my Uncle Bill passed, I went to his funeral. And a few of my family members walked up and say, "Hey, how Big Mike doing?" I said, "My daddy been dead for 2 years." Now y'all get where I'm going? This is how distant the family is. And as I got deeper into going back into the history of this family, now I understood why my daddy was sick. I understood why my daddy did drugs. I understood why my daddy did the sick things he did in the street, because my daddy family was messed up. So that messed him up. You see what I'm saying? Come on now. Understand it. Them people out there, don't get mad at your family members. Don't get mad at your mom or your dad if they on drugs. Because you have to understand their journey. And once you understand their journey, then you're going to understand the pain. You're going to understand the shame that came with the pain. You can't understand something. You can't be mad at something that you don't understand. Now you can be mad all you want, but what's the reason? Why is the reason you mad? Because of what they doing, and because of you embarrassed because of what they doing? Understand their journey, understand their pain, and then you will understand the shame. You see, my journey, I had to go back and understand my history of why I became the man I became. I had no family. I had no love. I had no people out there that I can go to and talk to and sit down and share my feelings to. Or say, it's going to be all right, James. It's going to be all right. I never had that. So I didn't understand love. I didn't understand compassion. I didn't understand compliments. When somebody be like, oh, that was a good job. All right, blah. Or I just look at them. Or somebody be like, thank you. I just look at them. I don't even say, you're welcome. Because I didn't have that in me. I was emotionless. Because that's how I had to be raised in the streets. I had to be hard. I had to be hardcore. I had to have no conscience. When you out there in that swamp and you mingling with them gators, just because you mingling with them gators, some of them gators can turn on you. So you had to have no conscience when you out there in that swamp wrestling with them gators. So I didn't understand love. I didn't understand it. But as I got older, I looked at my journey to where it all started from, to where it began. But thank God that He gave me the strength, the mental capacity to understand who I am as a man. That I didn't fall weak. God made me mentally strong because God knew my journey. I had to be mentally strong or I would have been caught up in that swamp and ate up by them gators. You see, somebody said, God don't do certain things because you was born like that or you was this and this and that. Let me explain something to you. When you put something before God, and y'all know God is a jealous God, and when you put something before God, God gonna make sure you understand He is God and He comes first. So when I was putting my slang-a-lang before God, because I thought I was the it, God said, I got something for you. And if people don't believe me, y'all can go look it up. It's called peyronie's. I don't have to lie about nothing when it comes to the realionaire. The realionaire gonna try to keep it real as possible at all times. And if I'm wrong and somebody proves me wrong, I'm gonna get back on here and I'm gonna apologize because the realionaire ain't always right. But y'all have to understand how our Father works. You see, people say, God don't do certain things. When you ain't got God the head of your life, God gonna make sure you put him back at the head of your life. Because now I'm a humble man. God put a good woman in my life. I had to understand that. I almost lost her because I was still being messy. Because like I said in the previous video, I was afraid of change. And I had to go back to my journey. I had to go back to where it began, to where I felt the way I felt. But God still kept her here because God said, this is the woman for you. This is the woman that's going to continue this journey with you. But you have to understand it. Because if you don't understand it, then you going to lose it. I'm not going to come out of heaven and tell you face to face, this is the woman. You have to understand it. I gave you all the signs to understand it. Now when you going to understand it? And when you going to start walking that journey with that woman I just blessed you with? Huh? We have to understand as individuals that we're not perfect. But until you start understanding who you are and stop being fake and stop trying to be like everybody else and stop trying to prove everything to everybody else and stop trying to fit in and fit into who you are as that woman, as that man, and understand and love yourself, you ain't gonna get nowhere. You're not gonna understand nothing because you don't understand you. Come on now. Come on now. You gotta understand who that person is, right or wrong. Because when you walk, oh, you like, oh, there go a shortcut. But like I said in the previous video, that's the path, right? That's the path. But while you trying to be sneaky and trying to cheat, everything that you could have learned while you was on that journey to becoming great, to becoming a better woman, to becoming a better man, you missed it because you wanted to cheat, because you wanted to take the shortcut, because you didn't want to take the hard path. The bumps, the bruises, the ups and downs, the falls, the get-ups, the hurts, the pain, the shame. You didn't want to take that, so you went around it. But you missed it. So then when it hit you, you didn't understand it. Because you never felt it. You never seen it. You never understood it. You never experienced it. So now you don't know how to take it because you took that shortcut to where you could have took that straight path. Because what you have to understand is you trying to get to the finish line. So either taking that shortcut or taking the straight path, you still got to get to that finish line. So I'd rather take the straight path to where I can learn everything and learn the hurt, to learn the pain, to learn the shame, to where I can understand it better. Stop taking the shortcuts. Go through the pain so you can understand it better. Go through the shame so you can understand it better. Now, don't get me wrong. Even on the straight path, you still can have a good life to where you don't have the shame, to where you don't have the pain, to where you don't feel that. It's how you move. It's how you maneuver. It's how you handle it. It's how strong you are. You have to be strong physically and mentally. And young people, young teenagers, I I know it's hard out there. I know the peer pressure is hard out there, especially for the young women. When y'all meet these cats and they, oh baby, you know what I'm saying, woo, 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 they trying to get the booty. You ain't always got to give up the booty to please a man. If that man don't like you because of you, then you don't need to be with that man. If that man can't be patient to get in that booty, then you don't need to be with that man. Because if that man is pressuring you to get that booty, then that means he only want one thing. You got to have respect for yourself as that young lady. You have to have a respect for yourself. And when you have respect for yourself, that man gonna either respect you or he gonna move on. And if that man move on, he didn't respect you. You have to respect you. To understand that, go look in that mirror and say, I love you. I appreciate you. I understand you. We gonna walk this journey together. Because when God put that man in our life, God gonna put that man in our life. When you keep looking for that man, you gonna pick the wrong man. Let God give it to you. Because you got to understand. You saying, well, how God going to give it to me? You have to understand the signs. Because God give us the signs, but it go right past our faith because we looking at the money. We looking at the cars. We looking at the handsomeness. We looking at, ooh, he fine. We looking at that, but we ain't looking at the man's heart. We not looking at that man's character. We not looking at that man's demeanor. You looking at the material things. Understand you, and you will understand that man. Stop understanding the money. Stop understanding the cars, and understand you as a woman, and watch how God bless you. Come on now. Come on now. Our young women, they get sucked up in the gold chains. They get sucked up in these material clothes. They get sucked up with what these rappers is rapping about. They get sucked up. But then as soon as you get sucked up, you at home. You in your bedroom. You on your bed. You crying. You hugging that pillow. You hugging that teddy bear. And you understanding, why did he do you like that? Why did I get him this cuckoo and he left me? Why did he hurt me? Oh my God, I'm hurting. I love that man. You didn't love that man. You was infatuated with that man. You was infatuated with what he got. You was infatuated with the game he was spitting. You didn't understand that man because you didn't understand you. Come on now. You feel what I'm saying? And young brothers, I'm on y'all now. That's a beautiful young lady. Just like your mother, just like your grandmother, just like your auntie, just like your sisters. You don't want people running game on them. You don't want people hurting them. So why would you hurt the next woman? That's somebody's child. That's somebody's sister. That's somebody's niece. That's somebody's granddaughter. So why would you do the game? Because if somebody did that to your mom or your sister, you would be on their top. So why would you play the same game if you don't like the game ran on yours? Come on now. I know a lot of y'all be out there trying to prove things to y'all fellas to see how many women y'all can get under y'all belt. To, oh, bro, I hit that. Oh, bro, I hit that too. Oh, bro, you can't get that. Watch, bro. I'm finna go get that. But now you're playing Russian roulette with your nuts. Now you're sitting at home wondering why your balls exploding. Because you gotta understand, condoms ain't always guaranteed. Oh, I used a condom. Oh, I used a condom. Condoms ain't guaranteed, pals. You have to understand that. And the biggest thing you have to understand, you might think condoms is safe sex, but emotions and love is the unsafe sex in the world. Because if you play with a girl's heart or if you play with a man's heart, You can't get no safer than that because you didn't hurt that person. Now that person want to come and kill you. Now that person want to come and stalk you. But you think you done did some safe sex. Because one thing you have to understand, if both of y'all on the same page, oh, this just going to be a woo-woo thing. I got a man, I got a woman, so we just going to wham, bam, do the damn. You know what I'm saying? But understand, one of y'all when both of y'all lay down, one of y'all going to come up with feelings. I don't care how y'all be trying to be tough. I ain't my woman. Oh, you ain't my man. You know what it was. It was a sex thing. But one of y'all gonna come up with feelings. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So y'all gotta be careful out here thinking y'all creeping. Because one thing y'all have to understand about creeping, let me explain it to you. J. Michael, what? Here I go. Look at him. Okay, check it out. One thing about creeping, you might be creeping, man or a woman, but pay attention. Y'all ain't telling nobody, but I guarantee you, that dude that you just did it to, he gonna tell somebody he trusts, because that's how dudes are. Okay, now let's say this. Let's say he don't tell nobody. But y'all out in the club, or y'all at Walmart, or somewhere out. And he with his homies. And his homies see you. And he be like, oh, bro, I'm finna go push up on that. She fine. He gonna say, nah, player, that's me. His homie gonna go, don't you got a wife? Don't you got a woman? Yeah, I do, but that's my side. Oh, that's who you was talking about. Yeah. He don't mean to tell, but he ain't finna let his homie push up on his bacon and sausage. You see what I'm saying? He don't want nobody messing with that. So eventually, it's gonna come out. The same way with women. Ooh, girl, that dude fine. Ooh, girl, don't do that, bitch. Don't do that, bitch. That's me, bitch. Girl, you got a whole husband at home. That's who I was telling you about. What, girl? Ooh, girl, give me some. It's gonna come out some way, somehow. It ain't nothing never secret. Nothing is never a secret. I don't care how long y'all been creeping, it's gonna eventually come out because somebody gonna tell somebody or somebody feelings is gonna get involved. I told you J. Michael everywhere today. J. Michael is everywhere today. Because there's somebody out there that need to hear this. There's somebody out there to need to understand this. Now let's go to something else. Women that's getting abused, that's still at home with their abuser. You can't blame nobody but that person in the mirror. Because how many times people told you, leave, girl, call the cops, girl, you ain't got to put up that, girl. It's okay. You know, he said he was sorry. He ain't gonna do it no more. You don't understand what he going through. You know, you making all these excuses until you can't make no more. That's what you want. Because you ashamed of yourself. Because you don't have no confidence in yourself. You better come better than that to J. Michael. You better come better than that to J. Michael. Because look at yourself. Get your butt off that couch. Get your butt from that dinner table. Get your butt up out that bed. And you go in that mirror, in that bathroom, and you look in that mirror and you say, I'm a strong woman. I ain't got to take this no more. I'm a strong woman. I can't do this no more. Because I got to think about my children. My children tired of me walking in the house with black eyes. My children tired of seeing my lips swole. My children tired of seeing stitches in my head. My children tired of seeing my arm broke. When it's going to turn around and turn to your children? Huh? Then it's going to be too late. Or when it's going to come where your children going to lose the mother. You got to protect them children. Not only them children, you got to protect who you are as a woman. You got to protect who you are as an individual. Love is not that deep to where you going to get killed or you going to get mentally fucked up. Excuse my language, but I had to put the emphasis on that. Stop thinking this man love you, because if he love you, he's not going to abuse you. If he love you, he wants you to look beautiful. If he love you, he's going to treat you like a queen. If he love you, he don't want to see you hurt, because he don't want to be hurt. You see what I'm saying? Because he's the king. Stop falling for that. I'm sorry. I ain't going to do it no more, baby. You know, I was going through this, or you know, my mom and my daddy was like this. You know, I was getting abused when I was little. You know, I got touched when I was little. That's a damn lie. Them is excuses, because I've been through all that. And I overcame it. I stopped making excuses. I stopped using my past as my excuse to why I was doing the stupid things I was doing just to make the woman feel sentimental for me. Come on now. Come on. Understand it. You are a woman with children, and if you don't have women, if the woman don't have children, you are a woman that you gotta have respect for yourself. You have to understand yourself. If you don't understand yourself, then you might as well kill yourself then, because you don't need to be on this earth. And I'm gonna keep it real like the billionaire do, because if you ain't gonna love yourself, why you want somebody else to love you? Huh? Huh? Stop it. Stop making excuses for that knucklehead. Stop making excuses for that abuser. You can love him all you want, but that love is going to get you killed. If that love don't get you killed, you going to get fed up, and then that love going to take your freedom. Then where your kids gonna be? Without the mother, anywhere it go, because you gonna be dead or you gonna be in prison. Because pressure busts a pipe. Come on now. Come on now. Understand it. Understand it. You have some guys that sit there and say, my father used to abuse me when I was little. That's why I do the things I do. I don't know how to take it. You weak-minded player. You weak-minded. You weak-minded. Because let me tell you a little something. My father ain't never put his hands on a woman. But I did. You get what I'm saying? Because I learned that from the streets. And I thought that was cool. Because I seen these dudes putting their hands on their women and the women was coming back. But as I got older, I said, that ain't cool, because you put your hands on my daughter, I'm coming for your skeleton. Quick. I'm coming for your whole skeleton. So I had to understand, this is somebody's daughter. This is somebody's mama. And if I don't like it, why is I'm doing it? It's not no excuse to why that man is putting his hands on you. Stop making excuses. Come on now. If you have to pack up and go live with your mama, if you have to pack up and go to a hotel, if you have to pack up and go to a mission, if you have to pack up and go to a friend or your daddy somewhere, get yourself and your kids out of that dangerous situation before it don't be dangerous no more, because it ain't gonna be no more. Come on now. Come on. Understand it. Get your butt up and walk to that mirror and understand who that woman is in that mirror and say, I ain't taking it no more. I am done. Because if you love your kids, you're going to get your kids out of that situation. You feel me? Because if you don't get your kids out of that situation, that means you love that man more than your kids' safety and your own safety. Love ain't that deep. Love is not that deep to where you gotta get yourself hurt all the time. Love is not that deep to where it emotionally messes you up, to where you gotta pop pills, to where you gotta do drugs, to where you gotta drink, to where you gotta do something to cope with that pain and that hurt and that shame. Love is not that deep. Come on now. Come on, understand it. And for y'all men out there that's doing it, I've been there. I've been there. Stop using them excuses when you get busted. You start beating on her because you didn't get busted, so you can't take it no more. So because she killing you with her mouthpiece, so you get mad and you slap her because she's telling you the truth. Or you don't want to hear it, and you tell her to get out your face because you want to instill that fear in her. That's what you're doing. You instilling that fear in her so you can continue to do the things that you do out there in the streets. Come on now. If you gotta put your hands on her, leave her. If you gotta do that in front of your kids, you don't respect your kids. You don't respect nothing. You don't respect yourself. And then you wonder why your kids grow up and hate you. You wonder why your kids ain't got nothing to do with you, because look what you did to their mama. Look what you did in front of them. And you want your kids to love you. You want your kids to respect you. Nigga, please. You better get real with it. Because I guarantee you, if somebody put your hands on your mama, somebody put their hands on your sister, you out that door. So why you doing that to your woman? Huh? Why you doing that to your woman? If you don't like it done to yours, pal. Help me understand it, pal. Help me. Help me. Come on now. Come on now. Women, you gotta love yourself. You gotta have respect for yourself. Stop using your past as your weakness or as an excuse. Like I said earlier in this video, go back to your journey. And when I say go back to your journey, go back to the mom and dad, to where it all started from, and understand your walk. And you will really understand who you are. And you can become that better person because you understand that journey. You have to understand the journey to understand who you are. Because if you don't understand that journey, you ain't gonna understand you. Because if once you understand that journey, you're gonna stop making excuses because you're gonna understand you. J. Michael, wow.